Hello and welcome to this live Q&A session with me, Natchi, Lazarus. Thank you for joining me. Today we have a great question from a church leader that says, do churches need a separate Facebook group for each ministry? That's the question. There is no hard and fast rule in terms of how many Facebook pages you need to have. It's free, so you can have as many as you want. But from a strategic point of view, I want to give you a few inputs, because that is one thing with social media. Because it's free, then you just go about and do multiple things. Two reasons. One is, when you start out, you don't think certain things. Second is, there is really a lack of understanding in terms of what how Facebook works in the early stages. Not everybody knows everything. So because of these two reasons, you find that many ministries and organizations have multiple Facebook pages, and then later when we start working on consolidating, then it looks it looks like there are just too many things, and how do you manage them, and how do you structure them, and so on. So I want to give you a few tips before we dive into the answers. So the first thing that I want to share with you is there are two options in Facebook. One is called Facebook pages, another is called Facebook groups. So most probably you've heard of these two terms used a lot. And a Facebook page is more of a public page. So if you're new to Facebook, I just want to give you a quick overview of what it is. Facebook page is like a website in the very simple terms. That's your front face. Anybody can log into it. Anybody can look at it. Anyone with a Facebook account can look at your page and gather a few information about you, whatever you post there. It's more like a public facing website with Facebook's features. So that's how you could look at that. And a Facebook group, on the other hand, is like a group of people. It's a community. It's a little gathering of certain people. So you pull certain people and put them inside a group. So those are the two options that Facebook has. I'll tell you the reason I'm saying this before I even start, because I'm going to give you three tips. And these three tips, the understanding of these, what a page is and a group, will determine how much you really understand these three tips that I'm giving. The first tip is, try not to split your audience. Okay, one of the mistakes that I see many ministries do is they have multiple pages and people follow. One person follows one page and they don't follow the other page. You can't expect everybody to follow everything and kind of stay in one place. Just imagine if you're having an event, you would want all your audience to be in one place, right? You don't want them sitting in different rooms while you jump between rooms trying to address them. That's not how you would want it. You want them all in one place. So think of your Facebook account like that. So who do you want in which room? If you're having pages, then I would recommend try to stick to one main page. Even if you are a church or an organization that's large and has multiple branches, then I would say maybe you can have one Facebook page that is the mother page with your organization, branding. And then below that you can have locations. There's something called Facebook locations. You can apply for those locations, and once Facebook gives it to you, you can add all your branches as locations. And they will be like child pages. So there will be a mother page and then parent page, and then there are child pages. So if you post in one, it gets posted to all of them, and each of them can have their own posting as well. So something like that, you could structure something like that. But my point is, try to limit the number of main pages that you have, so that you will operationally it's easier. Now in this note, think of Facebook groups, because when you think of communities, I will address communities at the last point, but when you think of group of people, then you may want to consider Facebook groups over Facebook pages, right? The second tip I want to give you is, know that your audience see you as one. Before you start multiple Facebook pages, think about your audience. They are coming. Let's say you start multiple Facebook pages for each of your ministry, right? For your, let's say, for your men's group, or for your children's ministry. You want to start different Facebook pages for those different types of ministry. That's the general thought process tendency, right? But look at it from an audience perspective, right? They think of you, look at your church, they look at your ministry, and they come, and as far as they are concerned, you are one organization with those divisions, that's all. So they don't look at you as separate department. Even though you operate separately for operational purposes, the audience looks at you as one organization. So try to give them the convenience of accessing everything in one place. So they go to one parent page, and then they look at all the other sub pages under that, and then kind of go, or subgroups, and they go and access information. So I'm just giving you these overview so that you kind of get an idea how to structure your Facebook presence. Structuring presence is crucial. If you don't have the right presence structured, then it can be confusing and you lose audience. People have very less time to give you. The attention span of people is very, very less. So you don't want to confuse them by having a chaotic structure for your social media channels. And coming to my final point, my final tip, which I talked about earlier, there are communities. Now, think about your public community and your private community as two separate things. So your public community is more like your church service, like anybody is welcome. You open arms, you invite them. So that could be your page, right? And for each branch or each division or each location of your ministry, you could have a page like that, so which is a public community. You welcome everybody. And then you have private communities. So once they become a church member or they go through a certain process, you kind of want to group them in certain communities, right? You want to create groups of people so that you can minister to them in a very specific way. People who want to get out of debt, people who want family related teaching, you want to put them in one group. So for those private communities, you can think of Facebook groups. So Facebook pages can be something that is public facing, that is open communities, and Facebook groups can be something where you minister to certain people in a very specific area and in a very specific way. So those are two things you want to carefully consider before creating your strategy. So when you think of strategy of how to structure your Facebook presence, these are things that could help you, right? Thinking about how Facebook has designed their platform to be. So today, and one more thing about Facebook groups is instead of having multiple pages, definitely consider Facebook groups, because Facebook themselves as a company have repeatedly mentioned in the past few months that Facebook groups is getting preference. They prefer Facebook groups because they want to project Facebook or position Facebook as a place where communities get together. So the CEO said that, and you can see in the platform how much of importance Facebook groups is getting. So there is a lot of focus on groups. So you as a ministry can take advantage of all this if you structure it properly. So Facebook page and group, they have their own functionalities and their own importance. You just decide based on what your objective is. All right. Thank you. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you for spending your time with me. And if you have further thoughts and any feedback or comments about this, do let me know. Send me a DM, leave your comment. And if you have further questions on this, please let us know. We'll be happy to find the answers for you or share based on our experience and our work with other ministries. Please share this with other leaders and ministry people who work in ministry trying to structure their Facebook presence. If you find somebody like that, do share these resources with them. Follow us and subscribe to all that we do, so that wherever you're watching this, so that you do not miss another episode. I thank you for joining me once again, and next week I will again join you live on the same day with another question that we will be answering. All right. Until then, stay connected, stay blessed. God bless you. It was wonderful chatting with you this evening. God bless you.